The Super 10 of North American Big Game has become the most popular award within the Grand Slam Club Ovis family of SlamQuest, and rightfully so. To accomplish the Super 10, one must do a lot of big game hunting in many different parts of North America. Furthermore, one must hunt not only the mountain species, but the broad range of antler game, and yes, the big predators too. First up is Dawn Anderson of Wyoming, who completed her Super 10 in August of 2024 with a grizzly bear taken in Alaska. In September 2023, Dawn was able to take her bear and ground caribou on another Alaska hunt. In August 2021, she took her American mountain goat in her home state of Wyoming. We then go back to December 2017 to show you her cougar, also taken in Wyoming. Austin Atkinson of Utah completed his Super 10 on a hunt in Alaska in August 2024 with a bear and ground caribou. A year earlier, he was also in Alaska, but that time he took an Alaska Yukon moose. In September 2022, Austin traveled in Nevada and got his antelope. And finally, we show you his Rocky Mountain elk Austin took in Arizona way back in September of 2009. There was a muskox from Nunavut taken in September 2024 that earned Corey Baden of Ohio a Super 10. The previous day, he actually added his 9th animal on the Super 10 list, a Central Canadian bear and ground caribou. Backing up, you see Corey with his pronghorn antelope from Colorado taken in 2011. And for his final trophy that morning, you see Corey's impressive whitetail from November 2020 that he got on a self-guided hunt in his home state of Ohio. Clint Baker of Nevada used his bow for his antelope back in August 2006 on a self-guided hunt. Fast forwarding a few years, you see Clint with his American mountain goat from British Columbia, taken in September 2019. Clint finished his Super 10, became a three-quarter slammer on the same hunt in August 2022, when he was able to connect on both the Stone Chief and Alaska Yukon moose. Bill Bednarski of New Jersey is up next for Super 10 recognition, and we'll begin with his mountain lion from British Columbia that he got in December 2008. He took an Alaska brown bear on Afognak Island in November 2019. Bill finished his Super 10 quest on a multi-species hunt in Nunavut back in September 2022 when he collected both a Central Canadian bear and ground caribou and a muskox. It was a Fannin ram from the Yukon that earned Dennis Bohannon of Washington the Super 10 milestone, and he collected that ram in August 2023. Backing up, Dennis took a cougar in February 2021 and an American mountain goat in Alaska in October of that same year. Dennis returned to Alaska in September 2023, where he found success during a bear and ground caribou hunt. North Dakota's Matthew Bussey has taken trophies for his Super 10 of both archery and firearm methods. His archery taken Rocky Mountain elk came from New Mexico in 2014 and began his Super 10 quest. In 2015, Matthew hunted in the Yukon and took his Alaska Yukon moose. In November 2019, he drew a bighorn tag in his home state and collected his Rocky Mountain bighorn on a self-guided hunt. One of the last trophies for Matthew's Super 10 was his Greenland muskox, taken in September 2022. We'd now like to recognize Robert Brauback of Texas, who finished his Super 10 with a Greenland muskox in March 2024. He had previously taken an American mountain goat from British Columbia in 2006, and in 2011, Robert traveled to New Mexico to get a nice Rocky Mountain elk. Finally, we're showing you his bear and ground caribou that he took in September 2023 in Alaska. South Dakota's Gary English completed his Super 10 with a cougar in Wyoming in December 2020. Back in June 2013, Gary took his black bear during a hunt in Alaska. He took a Rocky Mountain elk in November 2014 in his home state of South Dakota. And lastly, you'll see Gary's American mountain goat taken on Kodiak Island, Alaska in September 2020. Kentucky's Thomas Gusky took an Alaska brown bear way back in May of 1991 as one of the early trophies for his Super 10. 10 years later, on another Alaska hunt, he added the bear and ground caribou to his Super 10 list. Then in September 2007, Thomas took an Alaska Yukon moose, again in Alaska. And finally, we show you his pronghorn antelope, not taken in Alaska but in Wyoming, in October 2024 to complete his Super 10. Well, we're pleased to recognize Lee Houck of Alberta for completing his Super 10 in September 2020 with an American Mountain Goat from British Columbia. One of Lee's earlier trophies was a muskox, arrowed in Nunavut in March 2016. Moving forward, you'll see Lee's white-tailed deer from his home province of Alberta, taken with his bow in October 2017. And we'll finish with Lee's mountain caribou that he took in August 2019 in the Northwest Territories. Todd Howard of British Columbia took a cougar in January 2024 on a self-guided hunt in Nevada to complete his Super 10 milestone. Backing up in October 2023, he was in Wyoming, where he was able to get his antelope. In December 2021, Todd was able to take a mountain caribou in his home province of British Columbia. And finally, we show you his Canada moose, also taken in BC in September 2017. We now call Aaron Martin of Alberta to the stage for Super 10 recognition. First up, you see Aaron with his grizzly bear from BC, taken back in May of 2015. In September 2017, Aaron scored on a fine Quebec Labrador caribou prior to the closure of that species. Next, you see Aaron with his Alaska Yukon moose, taken in September 2021. Aaron is a three-quarter slammer, and we chose his stone sheep from BC, taken in 2024, to round out his presentation this morning. Indiana's Bob McGee hunted in August 2023 to take a mountain caribou in the Northwest Territories to complete his Super 10. Back in September 2012, on a hunt in British Columbia, he took his American mountain goat, and on that same hunt, Bob was able to take his Rocky Mountain elk. The last trophy we'd like to show you for Bob is his Rocky Mountain Bighorn from British Columbia that he got in September 2014. One of the earliest animals taken by Garrett Newland of Arizona toward his eventual Super 10 was an Alaska grizzly bear that he got in August 2015. In September 2021, he was able to get his Alaska Yukon moose, also in Alaska. We finish up with his last two animals, both taken in November 2023 on the same hunt in Sonora, Mexico. First of those is his Desert Bighorn, and finally, his Desert Mule Deer. We're pleased to recognize Taylor Rotz of Nevada for achieving his Super 10 milestone. First up in August 2018, Taylor would travel to the Northwest Territories and schooled on a Dall sheep. He got an awesome mule deer in his home state of Nevada in September 2022. And the following year, Taylor took in another great home state trophy, his Rocky Mountain elk. Taylor achieved the Super 10 in February 2024 with a bison from California. Easton Ringer of Oregon took his 10th trophy on the Super Slam list, a cougar from Utah on March 5th, 2024, which completed his Super 10 milestone at the age of 12 years and 51 days old. Backing up, we have three more trophies from Easton to highlight his milestone. In January 2023, Easton hunted in Mexico for his Desert Ram. Later that same year, in September, he took a mountain goat in British Columbia. And just a week later, he was in Alaska where he connected on an impressive Alaska Yukon moose. Alicia Rosenbrook Decker of Alaska, known to her friends as Mutts, completed her Super 10 with an Alaska Yukon moose on a self-guided hunt in October 2018. Prior to that, Mutts hunted in Nevada in February 1996 and took her cougar. In 2007, she was in Wyoming and connected with a pronghorn antelope on another self-guided hunt. Finally, we'll show you Mutt's Rocky Mountain elk, taken with a muzzleloader in 2014 on a self-guided hunt in Nevada. It was a Greenland muskox taken in September 2023 that earned Brent Scott of Kansas his Super 10. One of Brent's early trophies was his Dall ram that he got on Canada's Mackenzie Mountains in August of 2018. Brent arrowed an impressive and unique mule deer in Utah in August 2021, and 2 months later he traveled to Alaska, where he collected his grizzly bear. Indiana's Larry Sutton completed his Super 10 milestone in December 2023 with a cougar taken in Utah. One of Larry's earlier trophies is his 2005 antelope from Montana, which you see here. Moving forward to 2013, Larry took a brown color-phased black bear in Wyoming. And lastly, you see his Rocky Mountain elk that he took in October 2017, again in Wyoming. It was a relatively short journey from start to finish for the Super 10, belonging to Kevin Wilkerson of Wyoming. He scored on a great home state mountain lion in February 2019. Moving along, we have Kevin's Alaska Yukon Moose taken in September 2023 in Alaska, and in August 2024, he traveled to the McKenzie Mountains of NWT for his impressive Dall sheep. Number 10 on the list for Kevin was his American Mountain Goat from Alaska, which he got in October 2024. Now let's move along to the Archery Super 10 milestones. Alaska's Craig Van Arsdale completed his Archery Super 10 on a self-guided hunt for a Dall sheep in his home state in September 2022. 10 years earlier, in 2012, he arrowed a black bear in California. And while on another self-guided hunt in Alaska back in 2015, Craig took a barren ground caribou. Finally, we see Craig with his cougar taken in New Mexico in January 2019. Paul Weiss of Indiana has an Archery Super 10 by virtue of the Desert Bighorn he took in Sonora, Mexico in February 2024. Previously, Paul had taken a Shiras Moose on a self-guided archery hunt in Wyoming in 2013, and a Rocky Mountain elk on another self-guided Wyoming hunt in 2015. We'll finish with Paul's archery cougar taken in December 2023 while on a hunt in Colorado. This concludes all of our Super 10 awards for this year. One more time, let's give all of these Super 10 recipients a big round of applause.